We still going to start out with John?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
There were a lot of big spurts in the first half of this game by both teams, and then you had a nice spurt to start the second half. What were some of the reasons you think you were able to prevent them from answering with another spurt in that second half and not letting them string anything together after you took control?
Well, I think sometimes when people watch games, they forget that two good teams are playing. So sometimes one good team can dominate for 4 minutes, the other team, and then the other team dominates. And that's what happened in the first half. Let me just say, the end of the first half, with John Shire called a really good play, and we got mad at 3 in the corner. That was a big play for us. And then in the second half, we just told our kids at halftime. I thought we outfought them for 12 minutes. They outfought us for 8, and we got to fight for 20 minutes because they're such a good team. And so when we got off to a great start, but our defense was pretty good the whole night, because even when they made the run, 2 of those threes, 6 of those points were transition threes, but our half court defense was excellent the entire night. And Mark was fabulous, not good. He only had 1 rebound yesterday, so he's averaging 10 a game, just to keep his ego in check. But to get 19 rebounds in a game, and those defensive rebounds in the last 8-10 minutes were the deciding factor in the game, really.
Were his offensive rebounds also pretty important? He seemed to have quite a few where he had like a one-handed putback right up in front of the rim off an offensive board.
Yeah, John, he had a great game, an amazing second half, but the number of minutes and the physicality of the game, really good players are able to play tired at a high level. And he did that tonight. I thought Matt did, our team did that, but Mark really did that. And that was very, very, very impressive.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, we'll open up for questions, and we'll start with Steve Wiseman. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about the defense, and it looked like you guys were switching all over the place. And what was the key to being so successful at that tonight? What did the guys do so well?
Yeah, what we did was, in the past, our program, it's not zone, but we call it 11. It's still man-to-man, but it's a switching man, which really protects the paint. And instead of like trying to put a matchup in or anything like that, in the past, not this year, but in some of our teams in the past, we did that, and we decided the best way to try to keep those 2 guards out of the lane was to do that. So our guys were able to pick this up in an hour. They got our game plan in an hour, and they were able to execute it.
We'll go to Lauren Walsh.
Hi, Coach. I'm doing a story on kind of the big picture in March here. And what does it mean to you and the sport as a whole that there is a tournament this year and you have a path to get there?
Well, everyone has a path to get there. And on that path, though, you have to earn the right to play in the tournament. And, our sport needs this tournament. It's really the best sporting event in the United States, because it takes up almost really an entire month, because the tournament has already started because of all the conference tournaments. So in some respects, everybody's in it, because some of these one bid league, but every team has a chance. And that's not happening. It's the most fair tournament. It's the most fair tournament. And so right now we're in the tournament. we have to keep winning in order to advance to next week. But, when you're in your conference tournament, you are in the NCAA tournament. You're just maybe not one of those 68 teams right now. And you have to look at it that way. But it's the fairest championship by far. By far. And that's why it's pure and it encompasses every part of our country. And it's magnificent. And we've been fortunate to be a part of it. I don't know what, 36 times. And so I don't know if I hope that answers your question. Probably too much.
That was great. Thank you.
All right.
Evan Cohen.
Hey, so looking forward to Florida State tomorrow. Obviously, you guys were set to play them in January. And so how do you think that game getting canceled so close to tip off after you guys had already traveled down to Tallahassee sort of adds to the anticipation for the players and the team as a whole for the
Yeah, Evan, I don't think that has really any bearing on the game. And really, I haven't watched Florida State, so it's tough for me to comment on them. But that canceled game, at that time, it was a postponed game. That's pretty much water under the bridge. I mean, if you look at our league, we've had 28 games that haven't been played, the most of any Power 5 conference. So if you start looking back on games that haven't been played, it'd be mind-boggling. Might as well just concentrate on the games that are going to be played.
Brendan Marks.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Hey, Coach. I wanted to go back to Mark because he did have such a fabulous game, like you mentioned. You've talked about his progression a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and I'm just wondering, was there a singular turning point where you realized things started to click for him, or at what point did you realize, I guess, that he was capable of doing sort of what he did tonight?
Well, I would like to say that when we first saw him to recruit him, we felt that he was going to be at some time a high-level player, and then just the maturation process of a big guy, can take a while. His has sped up in an amazing fashion in the last month. And that all has to do with him and the work he's doing with Nate, Coach James, and really Patrick Tapay and Keenan Worthington and these guys who work with him. He has worked to get there. It's really on him that he's doing this.
Jim Sumner.
Yeah, hey, Mike, I want to ask you about the job Duke did defensively on Carlik Jones down the stretch. He didn't score for the last 6-15 after taking over down the stretch the first 2 games. You just talk about Duke's ability to keep him from taking over? Yeah,
how are you? Are you okay? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about the passing of your father.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and God bless your family. I hope you comfort one another. And I forgot your question.
I was asking
about you. And I'm 74, so.
Yeah, I barely remember.
What game did we just play?
I was asking about Duke's ability to keep Carlik Jones from taking over down.
Yeah, well, he's as good a guard as there is in our conference. I mean, he's terrific. And one of the first things is to get back and not allow transition, which we did a decent job of. But then we just tried to smother the lane, and exaggerated plugs is what we call them. Instead of plugging from another guy, you would do that somewhat. But today, the defense we played was exaggerated. And he still got in there a couple times, but not like he has in the first 2 games that we played against him. He's terrific, though. Terrific.
My last question will go to Josh Graham.
Hey, Coach. Going back to Mark, I remember you said before the year started in November that you haven't had a player like Mark in a while. What separates him from other bigs that you have on your team and that you recruit year to year? What makes him different?
Well, he's 7'1" and has a 7'5" wingspan. We start off with that. So that really makes him different. And he's smart. and he's a hell of a worker, and he's a great kid. In other words, he checks the big time talent box, but then he checks all the other boxes. So, he really is a can't miss outstanding player. It's just a matter of how outstanding he becomes and how it comes along. And his sister was a great player for us. And I remember when he was coming to our games, and then when we went to see him, I said, holy mackerel, he's special. He played for Boo Williams' team, and he's special. And he was special tonight. There's no question about it.
All right, Coach, thanks for your
All
time.
right.
Appreciate
And
it.
again, Jim, our thoughts and prayers are with you, okay? All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.